a majority of people against my move, and a majority on the other hand also are supporting my move. So meaning there are those ones who are against, including even MPs. I'm not ashamed to say this.
Yeah. Hello, from wherever you are following us from. My name is Nathan Eyagu. We left home to change home. And of course, today it's yet another beautiful episode. And this content that you're watching right now, you're watching it from Econ TV, Teso Vibes, Teso TV, and of course, DBT Live. And we are bringing you all this in Soroti. We are live at Soft Live Hotel. And today it's an exciting episode. We are excited to host a lawyer who has been described as the Mabirizi of Teso, the Mabirizi of Soroti. A lawyer who has stood up, and of course, he's speaking up for the voiceless. A lawyer who is actually making history. A lawyer who is going to be the first in Africa to actually appear in one of the European courts. So this is actually going to be history. And today we are excited to host him before he goes to France. He goes to Europe. We're excited to actually host him. This is a lawyer who has come up to actually stand with the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Anita Among. And of course today we want him to face the mic and want to bring up a lot of questions to him. We want him to reply us and of course get to know some of the questions that you guys have also been bringing to us. Today we shall be bringing all these questions to him. I'm not alone here. I'm together with All
right, thank you very much, Nazan. My name is Odeke Emma Akol, aka Mr. Odeke. When you see us here, we bring you exclusive interview with one of the city lawyers, known for his good work, known for his ability and what he's representing for, and is representing the people of Teso and is fighting for the Honorable Speaker of Parliament, none other than Anita Among. Tonight, the case was withdrawn from Uganda High Court to a French court. All that's coming your way. Don't touch your dial.
So city lawyer, we are so humbled to have you here today. We have been moving around looking for you, and finally we're excited to be with you today. Would you please introduce yourself, then we go to the body of this interview.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me this golden opportunity.
Yes.
You know, usually there is a saying that two heads are better than one.
True.
I'm sure even at the end of this interview, something new will come out, something developmental is going to come out. But still, nevertheless, the introduction always matters.
Yes.
It's like in the toilet when you're going always to help yourself. Before you open the door, you have to first knock.
True.
So knocking is like an introduction.
Yes.
Asking whether there is anyone inside.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, those who are interested on knowing much about me, much about the case of the Honorable Speaker, Anita Among.
Yes.
By the names, I'm called Patrick Joshua Okello, and on the other hand, commonly known as Joker. I'm a Ugandan citizen. I'm purely an Itesot. I come from a district called Kataki District in a county called Ngariam County, and from Uganda I come from a region called Eastern Region. So basically that is what I can say as far as the introduction about myself is concerned. Thank you.
Okay, there are currently a number of questions that have been raised from a number of people. You came into limelight when you joined the music industry, but then of course you left the music industry. Then you came and gave in much of your focus into the law. And recently, when you dragged the Soroti City Authority to court for failing actually to clear the buses and of course some of the vehicles that have been parked just along the road, you actually gained a very big name around the city still, and of course around Teso. But as we're still discussing about issues of the vehicles, another story came up about the Speaker of Parliament. After sanctions came about, when they accused of alleged corruption, you actually came up and you again stood with her. And this time you call yourself the voice of the voiceless. People were all saying, why would a lawyer come up and stand with someone who has been accused for corruption? But you've been standing with her. So today we're actually coming up and we want to discuss this with you. why did you come up with this morale? Why did you come up with this courage? Most of the lawyers are all quiet, but you came up with the courage to stand up and speak for the Speaker of Parliament. That's Right Honorable Anita Among. Why did you come up with this? And maybe was there anyone behind you before you came up with this idea?
Okay, thank you so much. Well, number one, what I would do, love to inform the public is that usually in this world, we cannot do the same thing.
Yes.
You can be a tall person, I can be the tall person too. But when they make both of us to stand, I'm sure we shall not make the same measurements.
Yes, yes.
So that is one thing we must understand. So meaning that everyone in this world has a role to play as far as God's, as far as what God has given us is concerned. So coming to this particular issue, as you say that I call myself the voice of the voiceless people. It is true, I'm the voice of the voiceless. Reason being, a lot has been going on in our country. Then too, besides me, there are a few people. Like in Teso here, I don't think whether there is any other lawyer who does judicial activism apart from me. So that therefore means that it's probably calling from God. Then by virtue of it being a calling from God implies that once I start the move, I have to start from the beginning to the end and I have to make sure that I achieve success in what I'm doing. I remember at one point, even during the Soroti City Council case, when I just filed the case at High Court Soroti, a majority of people, including colleagues, including lawyers, I'm not fearing to say this, they discouraged me. They said I'm going to get embarrassment at the end of the case. I cannot challenge the government. You see that? And as if the government is, what the government does, the government is supposed to do even what is against our constitution, or the constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Not knowing that the same constitution that we use governs both people who are in the government or the government at large and even the local people down here. So it means it's a general rule of law. It's a general book that governs all people. So by virtue of it governing everyone means that no one should go against it and no one is above it. I'm sure you've always had a saying that says that no one is above the law.
Yeah, true.
You understand? So during even that time, I remember telling people that if the matter fails here, we are going to push it until we even reach heaven. We even face God and tell God that the judgment was not proper, the other side, or maybe it was a political persecution or whatsoever. I would have done that. And with me always, when I go in any move, I'm always ready to do anything, whatever it takes. So coming to Honorable Anita Among's issue, I did not do this because maybe I'm related to her, or maybe I'm a politician, or maybe she contacted me and told me, Council Joshua, you do this for me. No. But I did this because the position she holds as a Speaker of Parliament of Uganda is a very big position, whereby in that position she represents 48 million Ugandans. She represents you, she represents me. Now you just fix yourself in her shoes. As we speak even right now, she's stressed. Even if it is you, if they do such a thing to you, it will eventually disorganize your mind. Now, in a situation that she's stressed, and yet she's supposed to chair meetings in Parliament, just imagine if she's frustrated. She will eventually not, the work will eventually not be done properly. You get the point. So my doing this was because when this affects her, it will eventually affect even us. Remember when the homosexuality bill came out, and after that, you saw what the whites started doing, and I'm sure you heard even outside. This is not a hearsay, but this is a fact that even Jesus Christ, whom I worship as a Christian or his follower, believes. The Europeans, or a majority of the Europeans, or not all of them, went against her, or rather sanctioned her, because of the homosexuality bill that was passed, anti-homosexuality bill that was passed in the Parliament. That's why they did all this on her. Now, since they did this one, it eventually disorganized us psychologically. Now, her being disorganized psychologically disorganized even me, because she's our leader. If she's not okay, it means even us are not okay. So I had to come in to protect her rights, not because I'm only defending her, but because I'm defending the entire Ugandans. That's why
I want to ask you a question briefly. How do you manage this? How do you have courage to stand against the European countries? How are you going to overpower this?
Yeah, especially after them making up a decision of sanctioning the speaker, and right now, I think you're the only Ugandan
And the only lawyer.
and the only lawyer who has stood up and you are speaking out. How are you going to face this?
So your question is, how am I going to manage this?
Yes, how are you
so
going
in
to
other
manage
words, it's like you're rating the Europeans in a different level. And in Africa, always people have understanding that the Europeans cannot be challenged.
Yeah, true.
That's why
because one, the sanctions have generally affected us in the country.
now
How can you as an individual bring in change?
well, it's a great question. First of all, we must understand that Uganda got independence in 1962. And by virtue of Uganda getting independence means we had to get our own sovereignty. So one, I'm going to manage this with so many reasons. One, what United Kingdom has done to Honorable Anita is illegal. And you may ask me why. Now, it is illegal because the allegations concerning the iron sheets, when it comes to our Ugandan courts, the Honorable Anita was totally not charged. She did not face any charges in any courts of law in Uganda. You see, there is always a saying that charity begins at home. If we knew she was on wrong, then the prosecution would have started from Uganda. I cannot come and complain on you, telling you your wife is bad, your wife doesn't treat you well, and yet you, who stays with her, you've never seen any disrespect coming out of her. So at the end of the day, that will come out as probably jealousy and illegality. Then secondly, what we must understand is we are not in a British colony. So I wonder what the British want to do with Uganda. So it is something which is not proper. So getting back to the main question, you said, how are you going to manage this?
Yeah.
I'm going to manage this because I'm using the rule of law. And as I said earlier on, that usually when I start a legal battle, I don't stop on the way. I move till when I make sure I achieve. And on the other hand, always, I don't lose battles. That's why everyone is wondering on this. Everyone is asking, will he manage? Yeah, will he manage the whites? And whites people who are advanced. And yes, with me, everything is possible. As far as judicial activism is concerned.
That's a very question each and everyone is asking out there. How will he manage?
So
that is a very big question.
Yes, it's a very big question.
Each and everyone is going to be asking each and every minute. How will he manage?
And some are already
doubting.
Constantly, they're already doubting. And of course, some are even having a perception that you're the next person to be sanctioned. Because the case that you're having, that you're transferred to France, what do you say? Don't you think you're going to be sanctioned for moving out?
Of course, with them, they can do anything. But if they sanction me still, I will not just sit like that.
Because we've seen already a number of MPs who have been sanctioned from moving out of the country and who have been blocked from moving to UK, moving to US. And among them is Right Honorable Anita,
yes,
and the husband, Magogo,
yes.
Honorable Magogo Moses. Then we have Nadutu.
Yes.
Then we have so many of them. Yes. You can count them.
Yes.
So don't you think at the end of the day, you'll also be among the people who are going to be sanctioned?
I don't know what they have in their arrangement. But in the event that they do that still, I won't be scared.
Are you not worried?
I'm never worried. I'm never worried. I'm not worried of any situation in life. I usually fight battles. Any battle that comes, I fight. From the beginning to the last end, I do that. So I'm totally not worried. And that's what everyone watching this interview must take from me. I'm never worried, and I'm ready, and I can assure you that I will not lose this battle.
Mr. Deke, recently when this story was actually trending online, some of the comments that people were actually putting in or sending, one of it was the lawyer should be maybe after money. Are you after money?
That goes back to an explanation I gave earlier on that usually when you look at the Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, she represents 48 million Ugandans. So by virtue of her doing that means that if she is affected, it means we are also affected. You understand? And yet we have other things to do. So I have to protect her so that whatever she does comes out of what is being done with a free mindset, with a mindset which is not overwhelmed with a lot of stress. So the point is, I'm not after money. And from the time I started doing this, no one has paid me even 50 shillings.
So meaning you've been using your own money?
Yes, I've been using my own resources.
They're now flying out. Are you going to, in case...
The hearing of the case
yes. So
is
are you going to use your
put in
money to
place.
fly out?
Which source am I going to use for going there?
Like, take an example.
Yes.
You are
Because you need money to process these documents for you to fly out.
Of course, going there, as I say that from the beginning, I've been using my own resources. Even going there, I can use my personal resources for going there.
You can use your personal resources?
Yes.
So meaning you're not even in touch with the Speaker of Parliament?
In touch
Okay,
when it comes
let me
to
ask
other
this
parties.
question.
Like communication, you're not communicating to her because
Is she aware? Is she aware of the moves you're taking?
First of all, what you must understand is this is what we call public interest litigation. The word public itself explains, it means it's a public matter, and that's why you people are here. So by virtue of it being a public interest litigation matter, or a matter under public domain, means that she must have had this. Yes, so I'm sure that she's aware of what I'm doing.
Okay, let's come back to the main point on the first place. Yesterday it was 10th of June. You had a presser conference, and it was the updates regarding the case of Right Honorable Anita Among, a case filed. You filed a case in the courts of law in Uganda.
Yes.
But you thought twice, and you had to withdraw a case from the court, from the Ugandan courts of law,
and took it out
and transferred it to the France court. What really motivated you to come the point to say, like, I feel like maybe, are you seeing like a lagging of the law, Ugandan law court, they cannot manage to handle that case? Or you thought, let the case be heard from France? What came to your mind to change the case from the Ugandan government to the French government?
Well, usually in a human life, you cannot hold only one age from maybe this year to the next year. Today you can be 1 year, next year you make 2 years. So the same applies to a human brain.
Yes.
You can think of doing something right now, then maybe tomorrow a new idea comes in which is better than this. Now, looking at our courts of Uganda, I wouldn't love to say we don't have competent judicial officers here. We have competent judicial officers here, but there are two reasons as why I shifted the case from High Court Civil Division Kampala to a European human rights courts. There are reasons that's why I did that, and
What
basically
are
two
those
reasons.
reasons?
One, when I file it here, of course, always with civil matters, once you file a case, the next stage is, of course, fixing for a hearing. And remember, as I said even yesterday in the conference, that a house cannot catch fire. Then when I call you, maybe to bring a fire brigade, you tell me that let me first wait. And yet there is nearest water there is some water in the jerrycans there. And on the other hand, also inside the same burning house, you find there are humans inside. Now, if you tell me to wait for a fire brigade, as a concerned citizen, as a Christian, I will eventually not accept that. The reason being, if I accept that, by the time it comes, it may probably, there are chances that it may find when the people inside the house have burnt or have lost their lives. So it would be better for me to pick the nearest water there, get the nearest people there. We see how to cool the fire down. Now, coming to the case, as you said, why did I shift it the other side? After me filing the case, there were so many delays on fixing the hearing. And yet every day you see this on news, tomorrow you see this on Opera News, you see this on BBC, and so each time, trust me, whenever I see anything written on Honorable Anita Mong, it makes me even develop diarrhea, simply because it touches my emotions. So the reason of me transferring it there, it's because they delayed fixing the hearing, and then the situation ran out of hand. Recently, you saw the US sanctions also. That is one of the reasons. Then second also, the court have transferred the matter is a court that handles matters of basically human rights. You see, a European Court of Human Rights, which we very well know that some of you know, that is located in Strasbourg City, was established in 1959 to basically handle matters containing human rights. You get the point? So my going there, because you may also ask me that how come you didn't go to any other court, maybe in the UK? So I went there because it is a court which is basically meant to do that. Then two, other people have been telling me that now you've taken Britain there, United Kingdom there, and yet it withdrew from the European Union, and people can tend to have different perspectives on something. Yeah, but this is what I would love to clarify to those ones who are going to watch this interview after I know you're going to upload this. So members or fellow Ugandans, the matter that I've taken there, or the court that I've taken, the matter concerning our beloved Speaker, Honorable Anita Mong, has been taken to a court of proper jurisdiction. So this matter still falls under its jurisdiction, despite the fact that when you're filling the form, or when you're taking a matter there is always a form that you're being provided. Now in that form, you fill you fill your details, for example, like the country where you come from, you fill it. Then your contacts, like your email address, your phone number, you fill all that. Then there's a page where they've listed the countries. Now, a European Court of Human Rights has 46 member states. That's what it has. The states, or the countries rather, which are members in it. Now, in that form, countries are listed there, and Britain is part of it. So you go to that particular page where the countries are listed and you tick the country. So meaning they cannot give me a form containing United Kingdom, and yet on the other hand it is not a member state. Yeah, they cannot do that. So by virtue of it being there means it is a member in that court. Yes.
So let's first get down to the point. Already the case was transferred. We're now aware that the case is now in the French courts of law.
Yes.
And let's get the point of view that someone there down the rural areas, how is he going to understand, like, how did you reach the extent of you coming up with this kind of ideology, and you felt like this is a move that would maybe reverse Honorable Anita back, or they ought to be the UK government to withdraw sanctions, alleged on her? Do you think if you win this case from the French courts of law, from the human courts of law, do you have a belief the UK government will remove other sanctions against the Right Honorable Speaker Anita?
Yes. Basically, I have to be positive. It's like when you buy food with the intent of cooking it. You'll eventually set the fire, cook it, and your main target is for that food to get ready so that you can eat and clear probably the anger that you are having. You get the point. So always in life, anything that you're doing, like whenever you're doing something, you must be looking at the positive outcome of what you're doing. Even a thief, when he breaks into your house, his intention is either get money or anything that he can take from there so that he sells and gets money out of that. So definitely I expect a positive outcome from the move that I've taken.
Are there consequences that may come in place in case the case is you overpowered from the case? You get it? Are there maybe any consequences that come along with the case?
Of course, the consequences are always there, but that eventually, because if I say yes, you may ask me that what are those consequences. But what I can say is the consequences always come at the discretion of court. It is court to take a decision now on that. Yes, but consequences are always there.
Are you not scared of anything like if things don't go in your direction? Won't you be scared in one point that these people may abandon you, leave you alone?
Which people?
Maybe take an example, people who are trying to support you, people you're fighting for.
Yes.
You get it, like, because you're fighting, because you, according to your speech, you said whenever the Right Honorable Anita is accused of, you, the whole system, the dietary system of your body changes. You feel like diureting. So don't you think like she may also abandon you? Do you have that kind of feeling?
I don't mind
when comes the case you overpowered from the French human rights of the court, because clearly when it comes to Uganda, no one filed a case against Honorable Anita for maybe the safety of the iron sheets, and maybe a few individuals never paid interest in kind of matters because it was internal matters. But now you have come in because the foreign countries have come in, and you said you could not hold it back in yourself. You said, let me go back and try to protect Right Honorable Speaker Anita. That's what I'm asking. Do you feel you will be at par with her no matter what?
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
If you get an accident right now, then you call people, no one comes, then maybe from nowhere I come and take you to the hospital, treat you. Will you hate me?
You would have helped me.
Will you abandon me?
I would have not abandoned you because you're the first person to come in the first place. But it's a different thing, not about accident. Do you think
I'm giving an example.
Okay.
I'm just giving an example. So even coming to this, you said, don't you think maybe in case there are some consequences that will come out against you, don't you think you will be abandoned? Isn't that what you asked?
Because a sanctions may come along to you also.
Yes. First of all, in life always, there are always challenges, and not everyone appreciates whatever you're doing. Even politically, the same thing. That's why you find there's opposition government and there is a ruling government. Not everyone appreciates whatever you're doing. So coming back to this point, I would say I'm not worried of that. Because even right now, as I'm taking this move, a majority of people are against my move, and a majority on the other hand also are supporting my move. So meaning there are those ones who are against, including even MPs. I'm not ashamed to say this.
Yeah.
A majority of MPs against what I'm doing. They are
Have
not
you had some of them
supporting.
call you?
Calling me?
Yes. If a majority are against you, have any of them called you before?
Of course I get calls, though I cannot say it's so and so before the microphone.
Are they encouraging you to back off from the case?
Yes, they're telling me to leave. They're saying I'm risking my life, and why did I do that? I'm still young. I still have a long way in life. That's what they're saying. They're discouraging. Others even speak outside there against me. So a majority against, not only MPs, even non-MPs, even lawyers, a majority against. They are not happy with my move. Of course, not all of them, but some of them against. The same comes to politicians also. Not every politician. This is what you must understand. Not every politician is against, but a majority. But on the other hand, also there are those ones also who are supportive.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm not scared because there is always. I usually love saying that whenever I enter in the battle ring, I go and fight without gloves. Yes. And I usually say I'm the only one who goes to the ring, legal battle without gloves.
Okay.
Yes. I bring a direct legal blow. That's what I do. That in any move, even when I go there, I don't care even if the UK government sends like 1,000 lawyers to battle with me. I don't care. And I always have a feeling that I don't lose. So in these, I don't fear because a man of do or die game. That's what I can assure you.
Do you think people are saying right now out there that you're looking for popularity?
This is not popularity because of the same reasons I gave you about what has been done to the speaker. I'm already known. Musically, as you know, I was in the music industry. It sold me. Recently, I had Soroti City Council case also. It profiled me. So this is not about popularity. If it was cheap popularity, then I would have by now, maybe even I would have started asking money from people.
Okay, just as we head towards the conclusion of this interview, you are watching Teso Vibes, you're watching DBT Live, you are watching Icon TV, and you are watching Teso TV. Make sure you subscribe and, of course, drop down a comment. Tell us what you think about this interview. Today, we have hosted a lawyer, city lawyer, who is standing for the rights of the Speaker of Parliament, who was recently sanctioned by US, UK, and of course he decided to withdraw the case from the Ugandan courts to France. To France. So he will actually be the first African lawyer to go to actually take a case there to the Human Rights High Court in France. So this actually is going to be another record there. So as we head towards the conclusion of this interview, recently there have been different reactions from some MPs and of course other leaders that are the sanctions that were put against the Speaker and some other members of Parliament came about not because of the alleged corruption, but they came about, yes, the anti-homosexuality bill. What do you say? Is it true?
Yes. If there was a percentage of 200%, I would even say 200% it's true.
So there's nothing related to corruption here?
No, there's no corruption. Reason being, can you get a corrupt person building a school for people in our constituency? Do corrupt people do that? Can you get a corrupt person building a radio station? Really? So this is a political. I would say it is witch hunt. It is. There is too much politics in this. So the whole point is just out of the homosexuality bill that was being passed from the Constitutional Court of Uganda.
But then, don't you think a section of millions of Ugandans outside there are feeling bad because you're doing this?
As I say that usually not everyone can appreciate what you're doing in life. So I'm very sure that there are those ones who are against what I'm doing. We are one people. There's always a slogan, one Uganda, one people. So it doesn't make sense for you again to go and turn against her, and yet she's your leader really. So at the end of the day, it implies that you're taking things on a personal level.
You mentioned that some people are against you, and possibly you've also received some threats concerning your life. Don't you think you should withdraw and maybe do something else? Don't you feel scared about this? What's happening on the ground right now?
Yes. Let me ask you an example. Have you ever prepared beans?
Yeah, several times.
When you put it on fire to boil, does it make sense for you to like carry the saucepan down? Just basically answer my question. You are hungry. You buy beans from maybe a shop. You light your sigiri after. Put beans in the saucepan with water. Put it on the sigiri in order to boil. then after again you carry it down. Does it make sense?
If you get an emergency, you're called somewhere maybe for work. If you're the one, don't you simply carry the beans down and go and do the other duties?
Carrying down on what basis?
They have called you for work. It is only you.
But you will still come and put it back.
Put the beans
because
down,
when you carry it down, it means you've wasted. So getting back to your point, you're asking that. You're asking whether I would step down on this. I don't think whether I can step down. Because you cannot start your journey. You're going to Kampala from Soroti to Kampala. Then again you stop around Tirenya. And yet you're moving to your destiny. You have a goal ahead of you. It won't make sense. If I step down, people will turn this as comedy. Why did Jesus die on the cross because of us? It's because he was sent by the Almighty Father to act as a savior. Not even to act, but to save us. So he achieved his goal and went back to heaven.
So as we get down to this conclusion of this interview, this afternoon in Soroti City, we are live on Teso TV, Teso Vibes, DBT, Econ TV. All we are along with a city lawyer, Okello Joshua. As we conclude, which message do you have to tell people out there?
Last words?
Okay, I think my last was one. This one goes to everyone, including the Honorable Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, Anita. Please, those ones who are supporting the move I'm taking, don't get worried. The Europeans are human beings. When you cut them and cut me, you find there's the same blood that comes out. So don't get worried. Usually when I go for my legal battles, I don't lose. The reason being, I stand on the truth. I'm a strong believer. I stand on the truth, so I won't lose it. Then secondly, as you know, the case has been transferred there. So please, when it comes even the time of me going to France, I'll inform the public, because this is a public matter, so the public has to know about that. And on the other hand, by virtue of me informing you means you'll keep on praying for me also. Then lastly, I want to send all my regards to you. Thank you so much. I'm sending my regards even to the enemies who are against what I'm doing. I know time will come when you'll believe that what I'm doing was for even your benefit. Thanks so much.
All right.
I remain Okello Joshua. Thank you for God and my country.
Amen. To me, my name is Mr. Odeke, and thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time. Please take time, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to do the same. Along with
Nathan Eyagu, we left home to change home. And of course, you're watching Teso TV, Teso Vibes, Econ TV, DBT Live. And of course, we have been hosted at Soft Live Hotel in Soroti. Thank you.